Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I do apologize if you hear any background noise. We are having an awesome rainstorm. It is absolutely amazing. So, enough of that. I am here with a special video for Scrappy Tales. They are having an awesome sale. All links will be down below. Who doesn't love a sale? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a project and using all of these sets. Again, not every single piece. We're just going to be pulling from each. So from this one, this is the wonderful Christmas foliage. We're going to focus on this, the pine cones, this branch, this holly, when it comes to that one. Now this here is the add-on to the book pop-up die set that she has. She did a wonderful video making a wedding card out of this. I'm actually going to be using this piece here, showing what we can do with that, and also this one. I know, so simple, right? But just this one. And again, you can continue through to use these other ones with what I'm about to do. If you've all seen my videos before, you know I am absolutely in love with poinsettias. They're addicting, especially for the holidays, and so are feathers and butterflies. So just say, we are only actually going to be using the large poinsettia, the outline and the base, but we are going to use the two leaves. We are going to use this Oh Holy Night nativity ornament. And we are going to use this ornament as well. Now remember, this is both an exclusive die that you could receive once you reach a certain amount that you've spent. I'm not sure if there's still some available at the time of this video. But if they are, I will link to it down below. But I'm using this one also. Okay, so these are all the dies that we are using. I am excited because we are going to make something that I also enjoy. Ornaments. I almost said tags. I do like to make tags too. These can be converted into tags, but I also do love to make ornaments. Okay, so let's get started. All right, we are going to start off showing you how I created the base backgrounds for each of the ornaments. Now, remember, this piece here came from the A7 pop-up book add-on that was just released in her Countdown to Christmas in August, or the beginning of August. So, yes, it's on sale. Just say. So, using my Distress inks, we can make an ornament out of anything, and that's what I want to show here. So here I'm using my speckled egg, the vintage photo for that, added water. Now you can see when it comes to these pieces, I've already die cut them. I'm sprayed the front and the back with water. That helps to keep it somewhat flat. Not all the time, but usually. For these panels here, I am using faded jeans, wilted violet, and yes, black soot. So I want to create a night sky when it comes to that. I am positioning these specifically. Now this I just keep on picking up because I want those colors to mesh and mold and move and all of that fun stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with some tweezers and I'm going to spin them. Because you can see I have the blue, you can see the purple, but I just want the black to go on one side. So again, specifically positioning them and then being real quick with the spray will work. I do like to come in for some instances with water to create that mix. You will get inky. Just know that. So get your gloves if you need them. And then I do either like to come in with water or the other color. So I came in with faded jeans back over it so that I could have that base blue going on. I'm trying out the Altenew, yep, huge splatter there. Awesome me. The Altenew white ink. This does not stay pure white. It does go back into the background, but that's okay. I didn't want the blizzard that I'm creating, because I refer to my splatters as blizzards. I don't stop. I keep adding. You can see I had the white. I then came in with my gold spray. Loved the way the gold spray pulled out that white and just made it strengthen or separate. I also used the Altenew iridescent spray. Beautiful spray. So those are those. You will see those back again. So just a general idea on how I work with my backgrounds in one way. For this ornament, now I'm keeping the die cut stayed in there, which I'm okay with because it helps when the brush goes back and forth. I have white gesso and I have some walnut stain and corduroy here. So what I'm doing is I'm using a lot of water, and what I want to try to create is, does anybody remember the paneling that we used to put on our walls? I think it was popular back in the 70s, maybe the 60s. I don't know. I remember it. But it was paneling and it was almost on every wall and it looked like wood. I'm probably calling it something that it shouldn't. I'm trying to create that effect, not with the wood slots in the center, but just that look of how that panel resembled. I'm not truly going for a piece of wood, but I just want that look stripy. I use watered down white gesso. I go into my inks to get that streakiness, making sure I'm going up and down in one flow. Now it's time to create to build our ornaments. So the first step is the nativity. So I die cut the image. I removed all of the little tiny pieces. This is a beautiful die and has so much detail to it, which I love because again, it makes it easy to just create your background, put this on, and boom, we have one of the most gorgeous ornaments. Now I am one to make a two-sided ornament because ornaments spin on a tree and it drives me crazy if there's nothing on the back. It's gonna be finished on the back. So we just created two of those night sky circles. We cut out two of those beautiful images and we're just putting them on. These are symmetrical. Now, they are symmetrical because I have that piece in the background for the night sky. If you don't have the piece in the night sky, it's not going to be symmetrical. So you can't make it a see-through shaker card because I thought about that. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, the inside. So just learn from me, people. Now, I know there's an easier way to put these beautiful little tiny letters that Sabrina created here. I don't have patience for it. So you could use your attack, your adhesive on the back. I just always forget. But I'm okay just winging it. I use that template to get the line started. So I know this is where I want to go. And then I just take it from there. But please do what makes you feel comfortable. I'm okay if I go crooked. And I just knew that I was going to glue that background in. And I knew I was not going to want to pull off the adhesive back, those small letters. Now, what's awesome, see how my finger is? That little dot for the eye is stuck on my finger. Yeah, I could not believe that I did not lose that. It's, it was a proud moment because I had it in the die cut for the longest time. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to push this out. I don't want to put it in my little tiny cup because I love Jell-O. So I keep all the cups. That's what holds my little die cuts. I didn't want to just do that because, again, it was a speck. But yay me. See, miracles can happen. Again, we have fun with this. I am not going to put the sentiment on the back. Was not going to do it. And I do apologize for my voice. I am actually coming off a cold. And yes, it was a cold. Okay, so I do apologize for my voice. It's cracking and my cough. I sound like Muttley from the cartoons. So yes, I do apologize for that. But again, have fun. All right. But beautiful ornament. on two sides, and it's completed. For the next one, I cut 2 pieces of mirror cardstock, and I used, after I punched out those pieces, I used them as a guide to just cut in, up, and around to put those pieces. But again, to make it a 2-sided ornament so that my mind doesn't go crazy, I put the 2 pieces of mirror cardstock together, and then I'm putting these outer pieces together over it. That piece that I'm using, because I'm sure somebody will ask, it is the top. It's what everyone was creating. It's the top of a Yankee candle. And there were some sequins that I was not going to use. So I stuck them in there. I think it's cute. And then I just had layered of die cuts there. So that's all that is. But it's a nice weight because it's heavy. So I'm putting that on the ornament so that it dries flat. Poinsettia, outline poinsettia dies. Absolutely beautiful. I dug into my stash for those beautiful textured papers by Tonic. These were my favorite. This green and this red. They are just always my favorite when it comes to their textured papers. I use solid cardstock for the outlines in a darker shade. So you get this beautiful element of all of those textures from those papers underneath, in and around those outlines that you're setting on top. No, I did not come in with any vintage photo on this. I'm just saying. At least I don't think I did. I don't know. We're about to find out. No, did not. Looking at them. Sneak peek. Nope. But I just love the way that they looked. I'm going to double up the leaves. So the small is going to go on top of the large, or vice versa, just to give it more dimension. I'm using the topper, and I'm going to be putting that in place. I want to make sure that it's secured on the ornament itself first, because this is becoming like a chipboard piece. And then I'm going to use my tweezers to make sure that top gets adhered as well, but really focusing that it stays on there, because your topper could hold that in place. Here I'm layering each of the leaves together. Again, looking at that single poinsettia and where these leaves are going to go. And then I'm just making sure that they go onto the back. Now, one thing to remember, if you are using these Tonic papers, they're almost, it's a loose fiber. So if you're not where you want that to be and you pull it off, you may tear this paper. So just be careful with that, no matter what glue that you use. I like the position of the poinsettia to sit right there. I am going to use some double-sided foam squares because we have to have dimension, even though it's on an ornament, but we have to have that dimension. And plus that will help to hold those pieces in place, because these foam squares are extremely strong and they won't shift. So just turning it around. I love the way, I love things to hang off and not keep that shape. So that's what we did with that. So here, again, I am using an item from, and a couple items from the A7 pop-up book add-on. And it's the one that Sabrina used when she made that gorgeous wedding album. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm using that. This can be a beautiful base. All you have to do is put your topper on top. Anything can be an ornament. So again, look at your dies, stretch them out, because there's always something else, at least one other thing that you can do with those dies. Here is the straight piece. Now there is an oval one that looks like this as well. I'm using the straight piece. I grabbed some of my organza ribbon and I am weaving in and out of this piece. Again, it's another texture. It's a way to add. I love mixing in mixed media to our papers. We don't have to just stick with paper. Use what you got in your house. It could have been it would have looked beautiful if you used a piece of yarn to go in and out of that as well. But I wanted something soft when it came to that. So I'm weaving this in and out, and I am kind of making sure that it's flat, but also poofy on the top, because again, I want that dimension and that difference in the texture to take off. Going to use my glue, and I'm going to set that down. And I'm going to use my two reverse tweezers, one at the top, one at the bottom, to make sure that this is going to adhere. One of the things that I do notice when it comes to the gold spray that I use, it's sticky. Not quite sure what's up with that, but it was annoying me. But yeah, for some reason, that metallic, I don't have stickiness with any of the other ones. Just that one. Thought it was very odd. Little tidbit. Sorry. So we're going to lay the pine cones. Now, I chose to do the reverse. A lot of people, they'll have the mirror cardstock at the bottom, and then they'll overlay with like the brown so that it looks like it's the tips for the mirrored. I wanted to do the reverse, and you'll see why, because I'm using all three. You've seen me use this trick before, and I am loving it because it's going to be used for sentiments when it comes to glossy accents. Put a little bit down, grab not your favorite paintbrush, use a craft paintbrush, and make sure there's water next to you so that once you're done painting your glossy accents on, you can immediately get it into water. You do not want that to sit out because you've ruined the brush. But I love that. Yes, you've seen that in a previous video. It's awesome. So once that dried, I'm now cutting it. So now we've just got this embellishment strip coming off that side. I am intertwining the pine branch. So I have it in dark and light. I've just intertwined it. If I had to snip a few things, I did. But that's a great way to get your differences in colors, but keeping the shape of it. Or you could snip one and then just poke them in where you need to, which is what I usually do. I'm just putting glue in just little spots because I love it when the pieces stick out. You automatically, you get this dimension and you don't have to do anything with it. And you get this realism. I know it's paper, but you get the feel that it's really a pine tree branch. You can see I did not lay one of the pine cones, so I'm using that brown to break the two up. The last one will be on a double-sided foam square, so you can see it just breaks those. I'm pulling in the hollies now, but I'm going to bend them. So I'm using the fine tip of my tweezers and just bending them up, and then using those tweezers again to curl back the tips to give it some dimension. These are going to sit at the top. And then doing the same thing with the second, showing that you don't need the tweezers to do that. The tweezers do just make it easier because you have something to grab on as you're building that up. And look at that shine, because holly leaves are shiny. Let me tell you what, when I saw that from a video, there was a video that I watched before I did another video, and I was so glad because the woman is phenomenal when she does this, the dimensional flowers, and it just taught me a lot. And that's where I learned it. It was awesome. Of course, I'm going to show you what these ornaments look like. So here's our Oh Holy Night, our nativity ornament. I put a bow at the top and made sure that was set down with glue. We have our sentiment on the one side, but it is finished on the other side. Now you can see those little glue specks down at the base. If you just take a light cloth with a little bit of alcohol on it, just rub back and forth, boom, they go away. Here's our poinsettia, again, adding a bow to the top. Now what's great with this twine is if I can rub it along, I pull it along my bone paper creaser, just like that ribbon you can with a pair of scissors, it curls up. So I did that, and I added some red stickles and some Nouveau Dreams Gold Luxe drops to the center. Kept the gold, or no, they are gems by Trinity. I am so sorry. Gold glitter gems by Trinity. Kept those separate and added in the stickles. Here is our piece with all of the greens. We added red stickles to the top. We added the Cloud 9 to those branches. And then while this is not finished, you could write a message back there, but I did put, yes, the vintage photo did come in because I went around that piece, but just have that. But it is a clean backed surface because I did cut a second one. I do hope you enjoyed these ornaments that I made, and please make sure you go to Scrappy Tales. They are having a sale and everything is on sale. even this collection that she just released. So please make sure you go check that out. Remember, clicking on any of the links below, some of them are affiliates, some of them are not. Again, I receive a commission, but no extra cost to you. Just want to be transparent. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. What will also be linked below is the link to the Scrappy Tales blog. I encourage you to check into that. If anything, I encourage you to click on that link so that you can be inspired. All of the designers there are wonderful creators. They both do videos and blogs. So please make sure you connect with them and enjoy their creations. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe. Be part of my group here. Make sure you hit the notifications in case you want to know when the next video on anything dealing with paper comes about. We just don't do cards here. Continue to enjoy your day. Continue to smile. By all means, laugh a little bit. It does help. But remember what's most important for me each and every day. Always be creative and stay safe. Till the next video, everyone. Take care. Happy shopping.